1 year ago I got stuck in quarantine, and yes, it was still a thing a year ago, and I got quite bored, so I decided to knit my first sweater. This is it, and if you want to see the rest, keep on watching! Hi there, I'm Cora, and this is the video where I show you all of my knits from 2024. As I teased, this is the first sweater that I've ever knitted. This is the sweater that has a free pattern and a tutorial on YouTube by Florence. And when I was knitting this, I basically had no idea about knitting other than knitting and purling. All that I've ever done before that was a square or a rectangle. I didn't even have the patience to knit a full scarf or something. So I'm really surprised that I kind of finished this one and many more. This is knitted in the drops Nepal. I don't really knit a sweater without alternating pattern, so I've already, even though this is my first one, I've already tried to modify it somehow. So we have a kind of turtleneck, and I had no idea about short rows back then, so the sweater goes up like this. I also did ribbing from my elbow, and I knitted the sleeves way too short. I like the overall fit. I want it to be quite fitted, and I think it worked out well. The only thing is that I'm thinking to lengthen the sleeves. I think I still have some of the yarn, so maybe 2025, we'll see. And immediately when I finished this one, I decided one sweater is not enough, so I knitted two. This is the other one, and again I was trying to modify the pattern somehow, and this time I made it a little bit boxier, a little looser fit. I did double folded turtleneck. This time the sleeves are the good length. But yeah, the turtleneck is too tight. So I'm not wearing it as much as I would like because of this. So this is another candidate for a touch-up this year or some other years. I believe I also still have some yarn left. But since this is a top-down sweater, I'm not sure how to unravel the turtleneck to make it wider. Maybe I will just pick stitches around the neck somewhere and see. If you have some tips, please drop them below. I really like the color, not sure what the name is right now. I will put it somewhere around here. The third thing that I knitted was a cardigan, but not for an adult. It was a cute little cardigan for my niece that was born in January. I don't have it with me anymore, and yeah, she's not even wearing it anymore because it's too small for her. But yeah, I think for like 2 weeks it fit her. Yeah, it was in this gorgeous Malabrigo yarn, so soft. It was a first time that I've knitted something so small and on so small needles. I remember being so frustrated back then because I only had like metal needles, and the yarn was so slippery that I had to start like 3 or 4 times over because I kept losing stitches. But in the end I managed to finish it. And I also remember I did the bind off too tight. Now I already know how to make it looser, but I didn't know better back then, but I think it still was a good piece of knitwear. This is the first Christmas present that I've knitted this year, and it's for my grandma. I thought this blue would suit her very well, and she's like 10-15 centimeters taller than me, so that's why it's so big on me, but I really hope it fits her. This was actually the first cardigan that I've ever knitted, and the first time that I've used more than one strand of yarn, and I jumped directly from one strand to 3 strand. So I was a bit nervous about this, and this pattern doesn't come with a pocket, but I really wanted my grandma to have one to put her handkerchief somewhere, because she always forgets it, like on a couch or somewhere, so she can have it with her. I've added pocket, and this was another thing that I was nervous about. Now I'm nervous if it will fit her, but hopefully. What I like about this one, it's the detail of the buttons, because those are actually for my grandma, and she had no idea when I picked them up that it will be for this project. So I really hope she will notice. This is the Seasalt Tank by Marzena Kołaczek, and it's my only summer knit so far. Yeah, it was the first time that I've knitted with a linen blend, so I wasn't sure really how to weave in the ends, if it breaks down or anything. But so far it's holding pretty good. And if you want to see it in action, you can watch my August vlog from Warsaw and the Taylor Swift concert. I wore it there. It was also the first time that I've participated in a knit along. It was so much fun, and I still have the whole booklet of the patterns that came in this knit along, and there was like 6 or something. So maybe this summer I can knit another one from there. I really enjoyed this pattern. It was pretty easy, and I think it turned out really well. This sweater or cardigan is again a Christmas present. This is for my grandpa's wife. She's really tiny, so that's why I have to keep it open. It's the field cardigan, and let me tell you, what an idea to do a color work on this when the pattern doesn't really say so, and when you haven't worked a color work in your life. I saw an Instagram post that inspired me. I will put it somewhere here, where it was actually the field sweater, not the cardigan, made in 2 colorway with pink and white, and I thought it looked so gorgeous, and I had actually the perfect yarn for this that I picked up in yarn Queen Prague, which, surprise, is in Prague, and it was this gray yak blend, also with their own colored yarn. I think it was called Pivoňky v Grébovce, which has these pink and gray tones, which I think went perfectly well with the yak blend. So I paired those together, and I think it came up pretty good. This is the MILLE cardigan, and I've knitted this in heavy merino from Knitting for Olive in this dark blue. I think it's petroleum blue to be exact. I knitted this in summer, and I think this was the Christmas project that took me the longest, because it was like 30-35 degrees every day, And the last thing you want to do in 30 degrees is to knit a chunky sweater, right? And again, I've made modifications to this sweater, and it's supposed to have pockets. During the heat wave and considering how much time this already took, I said like, let's just skip the pockets. But I think it still looks pretty good. And again, it's a V-neck with this little shawl. I really hope it fits. This is another MILLE cardigan. I just did a slight variation on it because I already did a MILLE cardigan for my grandpa, and since I was kind of running out of time and the pattern was pretty easy, but at the same time I didn't want the sweaters to be completely identical, I opted for just a regular 1x1 rib and not finishing off the shawl color as it was. And I actually finished it off on 23rd in the morning, and I had to bring it to my grandpa on 23rd afternoon so that he can unwrap it on 24th. I've never knitted a sweater so fast. It took me 3 weeks. Not sure if I'm willing to undergo it again. But I'm so glad it worked out and that it's finished. Moving on to the next adult piece, and this is another sweater, surprise, surprise. It's the Wishbone Sweater by Kutowa Kika. This time I opted for knitting for olive heavy merino. I think this is the color Cloud, and it's this like off-white. I think it really brings out the cable work, and yeah, this was the first time basically that I've tried cable work, and this sweater is actually not for me. This will be a gift for my mom for her birthday. I think it's really pretty. I hope she will like it. This sweater wraps everything that I knitted in 2024. Stay tuned if you want to see my plans for 2025. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, bye!